And we're back with another comparison video comparing this beast and these phones that shoot 8K video. We have Storyblocks sponsoring today's video, so we are going to be doing a giveaway with the Samsung S20 Ultra when we're done with it. But first of all, what exactly does 8K mean? Well, if you measure a video by its width, it's generally around 8,000 pixels. So the resolution of this phone is 7,680 by 4,320. So I guess 7,680 is close enough to 8,000. So there you go, 8K video. So 4K is generally around half the width of that and usually about half as tall. And then you have 2K, which again, half of 4K. And 2K is also very similar to 1080p or full HD. So if you see a P instead of a K, that means you're measuring the pixels vertically. So now when you're browsing for quality stock footage on Storyblocks, you know what the resolution means. Wait, what's that? You want to know more about Storyblocks? Well, I guess if you're that interested, I guess I could talk about them for at least 30 seconds. Storyblocks is a really incredible service for us filmmakers, YouTubers, creatives. Let's say you're working on a really awesome project. You're missing that one final super epic sunset in the desert. And you're out of time, you're out of budget. Do you really want to haul all your gear out into the middle of nowhere and hope that you get a nice sunset? When you finally get the shot, you're tired, you drive back home, and then you get a flat tire and you realize you don't have the right tools to switch out your tire. You want to call for help, but then you don't have any phone reception. You're screwed. Okay, maybe part of that sounds kind of fun. I would be down to do that. But you know what? The answer, Storyblocks. They have over 1 million high quality assets on their website. So whatever story you're trying to tell, they can help. After you got all the footage you need, you still need music. Oh, they got you covered there. How about sound effects? How about a graphic? Link in the description. Definitely worth checking out their unlimited all access plan. One account, unlimited downloads. It's going to be so much easier to finish a project on time and on budget. Thanks again, Storyblocks, for sponsoring this episode, and let's get back to talking about this guy. Now, this is the Arri Alexa Plus. It's part of their classic lineup. These were first introduced about 10 years ago. So this is definitely not their latest and greatest camera. There's been lots of improvements in the newer models, but this was kind of the first digital camera that Hollywood really fell in love with. And it was super popular because it had this classic cinematic film look that everybody loves, but it still had a super easy digital workflow. So you hit the record button, you pull out the memory card, plug it into a computer, and there you go. Definitely a whole lot easier and cheaper than feeding it expensive film for it to burn through, and then you have to take it and develop it and go into a dark room. I don't even know how it works. But here's the thing, internally, this thing only shoots 2K, fraction of what most modern cameras can do. So is it possible that an 8K phone now looks better than the legendary cinema Arri Alexa? One way to find out, let's go shoot. Now here's our very first shot over at the beach, looking pretty nice. Let's switch over to the other camera, and any thoughts on which one's which? Let's take a closer look and crop into both of them. And if you guess the one on the right is 8K, then you are correct. No doubt that the 8K looks different because every single little detail is extra crispy and sharp. Here's a good example of this. If we crop way into the railing, the 8K definitely looks sharper. But here's the real question, right? Is it sharper because it's 8K, or is it sharper because of the post-processing that the phone automatically does to the video? Here's the thing, digital sharpness is something that you can easily add in post, and when I do that to the Arri, it definitely starts to look a lot more similar. A side effect of sharpening that Arri footage was that it brought out a lot more noise, so it's a lot more visible. Luckily with computers, I can do a whole lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and run it through a denoiser, and now we have a clean, sharp look out of the Arri. So yeah, if you are trying to get that hyper sharpened look out of the Arri, you definitely can with a couple of clicks. But to be honest, I don't do it all the time because you don't always want a super sharp look, especially when you're trying to make people look natural. I am definitely not loving the way I look in the 8K phone. Basically, how digital sharpening works is it takes any sort of detail or contrast it can find and essentially bolds it. So sharpening something can be good, but you also want to use it sparingly. Now, I've said this a whole bunch of times before already, but I'm a really big fan of really good HD. I like 4K, and 8K is cool, but I think this image looks really good, and we're just shooting in just 2K. Don't you think, Carrie? Don't you think it looks pretty good? Would you agree? Would you concur? How's that cookie dough?
It was so good. It's too good.
Obviously, having more resolution is awesome, but it also comes with a cost. You really need to supplement it with a lot of power behind it. If you go to Best Buy right now, pretty much all the cameras there will probably shoot 4K. That's awesome, but there's still a lot more to consider, like your dynamic range, your color science, and your color depth is a big one. For example, this lighting might look pretty nice. It's a pretty neutral, warm color, but once you start experimenting with different colors, things can get a little bit trickier. Oh, the Arri Alexa has an insane amount of color information, so it retains that detail in many different shades of these different colors. But when it comes to something like a phone, even if you have 8K, you may not have that much color depth or bit rate or dynamic range to try to keep up with these unique settings. What do you think?
I think information is knowledge, and knowledge is power.
Yes.
I don't know where
What
that came
she
from.
said.
I don't know where that came from.
One thing for sure is that this Arri Alexa is not a lightweight camera. But this thing's pretty cool. It's called an ergo rig, and I look a little bit like a Cybertron. Did I just make that word up?
Isn't that the villain for Transformers?
It sounds like it, actually. This thing's like magic. I throw this on my shoulder, and it's like the weight just disappears. I feel like I'm barely carrying anything now. Now time to snag a couple of shots during blue hour. Honestly, one of my favorite times of day to shoot because of how moody it is. And one of my favorite sayings is that you have to learn all the rules so that you can learn how to break them. Definitely find that to be the case with cinematography. You have to understand how to expose your shot, which ISO to use, what white balance to use, and all that. But the fun really starts after you learn all your 101s and you start experimenting. And I'm not just talking about camera settings, I'm talking about some dramatic, harsh lighting, maybe using some unique vintage lenses that give it a certain characteristic. There's a whole lot of stuff to experiment with. I think that's where the magic of the Arri really starts to shine through. There's this cool video I just came across, and it shows you a huge handful of movies that have been shot on Arri Alexa. And the cool thing about it, so notice that no two movies look exactly the same. Every film, every scene has a bit of this personal touch to it. Now, I really love the way the Arri looks right out of the camera, but what makes it really impressive is all the things you can do with it in different lighting situations and different setups. And since the camera captures so much information on set, there's so much room for color correction in post. When you shoot on an Arri, it's never about how many pixels can you capture in a shot. It's more about how well can you convey a scene and emotion. This video is actually pretty fun to watch, so I'll throw a link down there in the description. I think we got a couple of shots, so we can go back to the studio and take a look at it. Whoa, rabbit! Hey, buddy! Come here. Thought I was gonna go home with another pet. So far, all the phone shots have been 8K and all the Alexa footage has been 2K, but now we're gonna switch both of them to slow motion, which is going to force both of them to come down in resolution, and now we're shooting HD on both cameras. So right now, they're both the same resolution, technically speaking, same number of pixels, but the difference here is good HD versus poor HD. It's very easy to look at this graph that I showed you up front and say, oh, 2K, not nearly enough. But you can go ahead and see for yourself that even if it has the same number of pixels, it doesn't mean the same image quality. Apparently, Steve doesn't know how to use a power tool. I guess if you have it at an angle, you're supposed to slide this out. Steve didn't, and it just cut straight through. Look at that though. That's a clean cut.
I didn't even feel it. It just went right through.
Wow,
Yeah.
this thing is no joke, is it?
Zoom right through that. Whoa, you see the piece fly off?
Never
That's kind of
even
crazy.
It caught some
It's
air.
boink.
It did, wow.
What do you guys think of this new studio space, by the way? It's still work in progress. The intro, we just kind of put up this piece of duvetine like this, block out the light, turn on these lights. I got something cool. Steve, I need your help because you're tall. Look, this box looks like you.
Oh, it does.
It's just kind of a mess with all of these light stands everywhere. This is called a Varipole. Each side is kind of this rubber grippy stuff. So you extend this out to whatever length. I want to get rid of a lot of different stands and just replace them with these rods. I might be able to work with this. And I love no light stand. How cool is that? Oh, I just realized I filmed the close of this video already. So the next scene, the lighting's not going to look like this. I should have thought that through a little bit better. Anyways, that's probably enough blabbing for me. What'd you guys think of the footage? Was there anything that particularly, I can't say that word. Anything surprise you? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm definitely impressed with how good these phones look, even though I don't really care about the 8K portion of it. And I also think it's pretty cool that this is a 10-year-old camera and it still holds up. Like the biggest of the biggest movies are shot on Arri Alexas. And even though this is a very outdated version of the Alexa, it still hangs in there. Oh, and the Samsung S20 Ultra that we're doing a giveaway with. If you want a chance to win, just drop a comment down below within the first 24 hours of this video going live, and good luck. Let's wrap this up by reading a few comments from my last video. The Hangover, Potato and Sam edition. That's a film I'd watch. I mean, we have the camera to do it. Let's do it. Sam should be called Tequila Jet. What do you think about that?
No, I'm Mango Copter.
In case you guys missed the last video, Sam and I got irresponsibly drunk. Try this challenge again, but put the Arri Alexa LF on the end of it.
Oh no.
I swear, as soon as Gene said that they're gonna get drunk to use the story cam, I paused the video to make some popcorn. There's no way I'm not gonna enjoy this video. I think it was a pretty funny video. If you haven't checked it out yet, should check it out. Gene hanging around Sam's shoulder like a devil.
That's literally all you do.
You know you want to do it, Sam. I can't decide whether that shot of Sam peeing has me traumatized or has me turning on.
What?